Hey everyone, Nate from Navigator Bookkeeping here. Today we're going to talk about a really important part of the bookkeeping process, and it actually has two steps. The first step is called classifying transactions. The second step is doing the bank reconciliation. Both are really important, and the purpose is twofold. The classifying is to basically track how much you're spending and how much money is coming in, and to basically set your transactions into different buckets so you have a good idea of where your money is going and kind of a good idea of all the amounts that you're bringing in and spending as well. The purpose of the reconciliation is basically to check with QuickBooks compared to your bank or your credit card statements, and to make sure that QuickBooks is entering it accurately, to make sure that you've entered everything accurately, so that the amount in QuickBooks is actually your real bank amount. So for example, if QuickBooks says you have $4,000, to make sure that you actually have $4,000 in your bank. So very important. Also, it's a great security measure, because if you are classifying your transactions and then doing a bank reconciliation, you're going to have a really clear idea of how you spent every penny and really all the money that you brought in too. So it's going to be really difficult for money to be spent without you knowing about it. And also, even if there's some accidental mistake, like a bank accidental bank fee, or if QuickBooks enters something in a way that's not supposed to, you're gonna be able to find that quickly and fix it. So great process, needs to happen monthly. Most people will do their reconciliation monthly, obviously when they get the statement, and then they'll do the classification weekly just to kind of stay on top of it so they don't have tons and tons of transactions at the end of the month. So let's talk about the classification first. We're going to go to banking. We're here in the sample company, so once again, this is not real data in QuickBooks. And this is the screen. This is all connected to the bank. So this is called a bank feed. The bank is connected directly to QuickBooks. So all the transactions that happen in the bank happen in QuickBooks, so you don't have to manually import them or anything. So basically what happens here is you go through your transactions and you make sure that they are being classified into the right account. So this is a rental. Well, that's not very descriptive. We look here, it gives us a little bit more. Rental backhoe deposit refund. Okay, so if you click on a transaction, it gives you a little more information, which is helpful. But you're basically going to go through these and make sure that every category, every transaction is going into the right category. So if we click on this, Hicks Hardware, QuickBooks is going to try to match it to another transaction for a check. We can click match on that. And basically, you're going to go through and make sure that all of these transactions are going into the right accounts, so that if you're spending $15 at Starbucks, that's going into your meals and entertainment category instead of your materials and supplies category. So just a good way to track that. That's going to happen weekly, hopefully, if you want to stay on top of it. The reconciliation, you're really only going to do monthly when you get your statements. So we can go to the gear, reconcile, and let's start reconciling. So you're going to see a screen like this. You just have to enter in your balance and the date, the closing date for your statement. And you're basically going to go through, and with your bank statement right next to you, whether it's on a second screen or whether it's printed out, you're going to go through and match each transaction from QuickBooks to your bank statement. So for example, I'd say, okay, June 7, I have an accounts payable transaction for $300. I'm going to go to my bank statement and make sure that I paid $300 on June 7. Once I check and see that that is the case, I'm going to press check. And then this little difference is going to go down. Now, you will know you are perfectly reconciled when this is at 0. They should be at 0. QuickBooks and the bank should match perfectly. And when you do that, once you get through all these, you're going to press finish on the bottom, and it's basically going to pull up a nice little report for you to show all the transactions that happened and that you are reconciled and all good to go. So that's a little bit about it, about the process. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them and talk through those with you. But this is a great service that is necessary for your books every month to keep them secure and just make sure you know what's happening inside of your business.